Welcome back. I'm gonna make me a little smaller, bigger, smaller. I like that right there. Let me copy and paste a little Jimmy to the peeps in the Discord. I'm like nauseous right now. I've had too much coffee today. Pop out chat. That's one. All right, we're live. Let's do it. Not looking great. Not looking the best. Yeah, definitely not looking the best. Let's pop this all up so I can see everything. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Cool. All right. What was that? All right. Let's start out. All the way out on the Bitcoin. Let's get rid of some shit. Let's go to the 2 week. Yeah, actually, the 3 week too. So the 2 week is in 5 days. The 3 week is in 5 days. The 4 week is breaking the chart. Ruh-roh. Is 4 week not a thing? Because believe it or not, guys, 4 weeks in a month are different, right? Because there's 4.33 weeks or something like that in a month if you break it all down. So let's just go 1 month. Yeah, because that broke it. Cool. And this is gonna be another 2 weeks left on the monthly chart. So, what's up, Jet? I'm gonna call you Yeet. We still have bearish divergence coming in, guys. This is still looking like it could roll right over, but it's a monthly. That could take a long time. We'll just go to the 2 week. 2 week swing failure right here. X swing failure pattern. Boom, up at the top. Rotate back down, right? Boom, target. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Let's get rid of that. I don't know what that's going to be. Let's get rid of it. Let's just start fresh. So, I mean, right off the rip, when I'm looking at this, I see bearish divvies, right? Boom, boom. This is kind of like an even top. This is like exaggerated to me, but I mean, overall, it looks like we're starting to curve down. No, I'm not going from all the way back here, but it's flat money flow. It's looking like it wants to curve. It's more distinguished. Hold on, I gotta mute myself. I don't know why I hear myself. That was weird. I didn't like that at all. Here on the weekly, right? You see it now. You can see the divergence. Higher highs. We'll make it blue because it's going. Actually, let's make it green. I don't have any green on my chart. Right? Higher highs. I don't even like the green. What color do you guys want? How's black look? We're going to go black. All right, so we got a higher high. Actually, I can't even do that. And we got a lower high. Right? Boom, boom. Bearish divergence. Don't get it twisted. Bearish divergence. Now, if you want to go from the money flow from all the way back here to current, right? Same shit, guys, right? Higher highs, money flows coming out. Now, it doesn't mean everything, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to dump as far as the weekly is concerned, right? Because, I mean, the money's still in the green, right? So there's nothing to stop this from just printing a green dot. You know, when I say that, I mean just kind of like the momentum shifting to the upside. However, if I were a formationian, one of you jamokes who does formations, why is that? Let's get this right here, right underneath. If I was that guy, I mean, we're kind of looking at a little flag here, a little channel. Now, it's not perfect. I know. Just get over it. Once again, what does that mean? I don't know. Brett, Andrew, good morning. What's up, guys? When I'm looking at this, to me, I'm looking down here, and we'll get to that. But oscillator wise, looks like we could be putting in a nice momentum wave that's going to roll, and we're in a roll location, right? SFP. We should have some sort of pullback, whether it's a huge one or a little one. I mean, obviously, I don't know. Otherwise, I'd be on a fucking island on my boat. But that's not the name of the game, right? We don't need to know what's going to happen in a month from now. We just need to know what's going to happen or have an idea of what's going to happen today, tomorrow, the next day, you know, while we're in our trades. So same thing, 5-day bearish divergence, money flows coming out even more, right? And this is that same location, right? Now it's, that doesn't look great, right? Momentum waves, still same concept, right? The divergence starts here, just same theory, same jazz. 4-day, will you? All right, 4 days out. Okay, 3-day, same shit, right? Same shit. Divergence, right? Remember when we were looking at this the other day, I said, this looks like it wants to just keep rolling, right? Green dot, red dot. That's what it looked like to me. Kind of like a little double toppy, 2-day. Money flows looking, I'm gonna call this is flat to me. This is down. And if it was up and I saw this, I'd be like, ooh, it looks like it wants to go up. I know the VWAP wants to go up. But from back here, the money flow is still kind of down. Not much, but a little bit, right? So I have a tough time because like we have bearish divergence here, right? We're making lower lows. It's kind of like a flat top too, and we're coming up. That shows me exhaustion. Exhaustion means we're going to cool. We're going to cool down a little bit. The daily, even more in your face. If this red dot prints and we come down, I mean, I'm looking at this demand zone. There's no way about it, right? Stop number one, ideally, is this low? After this, I'm looking here somewhere. If not further, right? Because if this is actual, this is an actual, I think it's even a 1 month. If this is a 1 month SFP, right? It's the same thing as the weekly, but I just wanted to point that out. This is your target, right? It's saying that this is going to be like a double top situation. We're going to break this and we're coming down. I haven't done formations like that in a long while, but just for the sake of an argument, if that happens, I mean, you're looking back at 50 grand, 49 grand. Like, and we don't have to fill that whole thing out, right? I mean, nothing has to happen, but it makes sense, doesn't it? This makes sense to me. I mean, at least coming into this as a whole, right? Coming into this demand as a whole, because we didn't even dip into it, right? We front ran it, right? Some people say inducement, so we induced, came close, meaning we maybe we're likely to come back and actually dip into it. Boom, SFP. Is this the catalyst to send us back down into this demand? I don't know. Is it the bear in me that says, yeah, maybe, but I only say yeah because I want to get in and I want to make money on it. I don't up or down. I don't give a fuck, guys. Let's be very clear about that. I don't hold any spot. I find for myself it helps. It helps me have less emotion attached to the long side of things. And I do see shorts better. I did start trading and start to learn trading in the bear market. And there is something about short in the market that really gets my juices flowing. But at the end of the day, up or down, I do not care. I want to make money both ways. I don't have a spot bag that I'm hoping pumps. I trade. That's all I do. In and out. So with that being said, even though we broke above the 786 here, right? This is the golden pocket, 786, 886. I don't think we swung failed this. Kind of like yeah, maybe on a different exchange. Let's see something. Let's pull up Argus. Yeah, so we did. Right? Did I see that right? Did we take it? It doesn't fucking matter. I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. But we came up high. It would make a lot of sense, right? Even though we swung fail this, the target's the high. Well, we came pretty damn fucking close, right? So if we're going to put a lower high in, this zone makes sense for us to come right back down. It just makes sense. Let's go to 12 hour. 12 hour red dot printing, right? We're playing a little chop chop here. So yes, I'm looking for the continuation down, but at the end of the day, the candlesticks are what's telling me that it makes sense. Even with this pump, yeah, this is a great long, but we're rejecting, right? Rejection here came down. We didn't quite hit this order block on the 10 hour, right? But we do have a big fair value gap here too. I gotta hold on. Let's reload the tab. Right, we didn't quite come into this, but yes, you can even extend this. I wouldn't extend it this far. Because it's a fair value gap. It is an inefficiency. A lot of times we are coming back, and we did. We came back a lot, right? What did we come back to? If you did, yeah, we filled almost all of it, right? But we're, oscillators still curving down. Where's this? We have curvature all the way back here, starting to come out, right? Money flow too. You can see it more obviously on the more prominent on the money flow, right? I keep hitting shift instead of delete. Stupid. I'd expect a bounce here or a complete crash through, and we got the macro point of control, this entire range. Grain of salt, right? I would more so look at this as a range. It's the same fucking thing. That's why I pulled the whole thing. Because this is a deviation. This is a deviation. We come back in. Looks like we're coming back in. So I'm just going to pull the whole value area. It's just going to help me get a bigger picture when I'm looking at the macro moves. If I'm trying to scalp this, I'm pulling something like this, and this is where I'm looking, right? This is the more immediate range that we're in. But it kind of looks like it's almost ready to break out of it to the downside. It is what it is. I'm not going to shortcut it for you guys. It looks like it wants to come out and down and come into this node here, where you can also pull another one here. Boom, boom. I'll probably do it like that. You can probably even do it like this. Nah, I don't like that. That's better. Yeah, so we're going to come down here. We got we can come down to this POC. We can hit the value area high. This POC, this is a whole demand zone. There's definitely going to be an order block in here. I am not too worried about that. You guys know I like zones. I catch my knives that I'm catching are not. I'm hoping we're going to SFP this, or I'm hoping this. I have other confluences that tell me to enter these trades, whether it's an SFP or a structure change or something. That's what tells me to get in. So I just need the zone, and then I know when to be alert. That way, if we're up here, I'm looking to short. We're down here, I'm looking along. If the signs are still saying short, I'm not touching it until we get down here or until something else changes. If we, come and take this and then we start to come back in, okay, now I'm looking again. But this is no man's land for me right now. Up here, I'm expecting to either swing fail this or come down a little bit and a weak change to come back up, or I'm expecting this level to be hit before we blast off, or if we consolidate, or if we just blow through it. It's an area of interest for me. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button, please. And keep talking in the chat. That helps. Subscribe if you haven't. I know I haven't been here a lot lately. I've been very busy. The wife's schedule is all kind of screwed up. She doesn't have a set schedule. So she's been home. That means Hallie's been home. And that means chaos, pure anarchy. And then my wife puts me to work. what are you going to do? Any hooser. Money flows in the red, right? We're on the 4-hour now. What did we do? It's not really that evident here. If you look value area high, we came right into it. Boom. I can pull this over more. Right? Rejected off the value area high. It's also the fib pull. I'd rather look at the fib pulls, but you guys look at it however you want. This is still an area of interest for me, right? Take this, all this liquidity here, take this, come down here, maybe have a little bounce, maybe, look for a long back up towards the highs to take these and or a lower high again, right? Boom, 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 and then continue down. I know there's a lot of scribbles, but it's easier for me to delete when I only have one time to click. And I'm looking down, right? Like I said, I'm still looking here. This money flow, this 4-hour reset on the momentum wave here, I don't see a reason to not, right? I don't see a reason to not think we're going down. Like even back here, money flow is still coming out. Look at that, same shit, right? We're coming up, now we're sideways, it's continuously bleeding. And take all that with a grain of salt. This is a couple years of me staring at this oscillator, staring at these candlesticks for me to identify what's valid, what's not valid when looking at this stuff. That's just the bottom line. Sometimes, you have to be able to dissect the higher time frames to the lower time frames and decide which one's more valid, right? Because sometimes, primarily the higher time frames are more valid, but sometimes the lower time frames are, a 15 minutes going to lead the hourly, it's going to lead the 4 hours. So you just got to know when to implement that. But yeah, that's how I'm looking at this, guys. If you are looking, what's the 2-hour looking like? Okay, perfect. We came up, grabbed liquidity. We failed to go even higher. We come right back down. Yes, we blasted through the order block. It's not always perfect, right? That's why there's no 100% win rate strategy, right? Because stuff like this happens all the time. And I bet you there was some sort of, let's see something quick. Let's do this. Let's do that. I bet you there's an order block there of some sort that we came and grabbed. Probably swung failed the order block. Yep. There we go. 30-minute order block, swung failed. Right? Boom. Now we roll. Right? So that's why you just got to know what's going on, guys. You got to know that, like, oh, this zone here, but we have a 30-minute order block. Well, maybe you just extend it a little bit. That's okay. Right? But you need to know why. But that's a very valid extension, in my opinion. Right? Say the same goes for if, like, you have this order block here, right? Well, what do we have? We have a fair value gap still sitting here, right at the top of this candle. Maybe this is what you want to do. Extend it a little bit that way. Maybe if we dip into this a little bit, this is also an area of interest for a short. All these things, guys. This is why it's so fun. Anyways, coming more locally, yes, we broke bullish. Weak break. What did we do? We came up, we grabbed liquidity. We could bounce here. This is a bounce zone. I can tell you by looking at it right now. My oscillator's saying there may be a little more juice to be squeezed. Yeah, it's still looking like there's more juice, guys. But to say we're not going to get a bounce would be silly of me because we can get a bounce. I'm going to say no. Maybe this guy's going to hold some. Okay, so what happened? What did I do? Wrong button. Right? We SFP'd it. Let's get rid of that. Why is that so big? That's what she said. But yeah, I'm looking lower. The bottom line, it doesn't look great. Treat this as a range. Yes, lower time frames, we broke bullishly. 2-hour bullish. 4-hour bearish. So if the 4 hours bearish, this is truly a lower high, because remember, primarily the higher time frames are more important than the lower ones. So just because we break bullish on a 2-hour, if we're in that short zone in the 4-hour, that you cannot lose sight of that. Okay, you need to understand that. And then that's where, your oscillator, if you use it, order blocks, market structure, whatever it is that you do, your volume indicators, this is where that other confluences come in to tell you that, oh, we have a 2-hour break, I'm longing. You just long into resistance because a 4-hour, this is a short zone now. So you need to know these things, guys. And And if that's the case, we could see a little pop here from the 2-hour, but the ultimate goal of this lower high, even if we come up and have a lower high here, it's to come lower. I don't know if that's the goal, but that's the way I'm looking at it, right? Because it's the 10-hour, the daily, yeah, it's an SFP, but we broke bearishly. And it already played out, right? It came right up. It came up to the extremes. No, we didn't take this wick. I would have liked it, but all of these late shorters to the game, right? Whoever didn't get short at the tippy top, they're out of the game. And that's what they want. Any questions on that before I move forward? Because I'm going to show you guys too. I'm not going to do a breakdown of everything else. I am in a link short right now. I'll show you why and where and when. And then ETH. I'm gonna show you the macro on ETH. Chop, 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 chop. Right. Big move. Weak break. Bearish divergence. Money flows coming out on the daily. 4-day, still in the red, money flow wise. 5-day, same jazz. Weekly, that's a nice looking trigger wave. Where is this trigger wave coming in potentially? At the golden pocket. Why is that blue? Sorry. Blue is more better for my eyes. I like it better. I'm going to get rid of this. At the golden pocket of this leg, right? This is a location to put in a lower high. And that's potentially what we're doing. So that's how I'm looking at this, right? Yes, we have to break this low first at 20. We're going to call it 2380. 2380. We have to close a good candle below that to confirm this. And we do that, and in my opinion, boom, even if we come up a little bit, grab some supply before going down, dude, there's nothing here, guys. There's no volume here. Or there is, but just explosive one way. So if we're going to come down, we're going to come right down into the good stuff. Hell of a short. But if this is a lower high, this is truly the lower high, right? What's the goal? To take this low. So heat map 103,247 around 184 million. Matches your thought on still lower to come. Nice, cool. Fuck yeah, I love that. Love extra confluence. I don't look at any of that shit. I don't look at it. I tried for like a week, and I'm gonna say like an honest 4 days, and I was coming to the same conclusion with more shit in my brain. But I do love when you guys bring that stuff up because I don't have to look at it. I don't have to add it to my list of shit, but it's extra confluence now, right? So 103,247. It's going to be tough, but roughly there, right? And that's somewhere on this wick. Right? You said 103,247, yeah. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, back to ETH. If you zoom out, let me get rid of some of this. Grays are internal. The dotted lines are external. I typically don't have these enabled, so that's why it's like that. And then what I want to do here, bear with me. I don't need that to be so thick. Right? Same theory. Now this is all internal, right? So if you were to pull from, back here, which is, this is the previous top, right? At like $5,000 or whatever. Yeah. Weekly, structurally speaking, this is the structure, guys, right? One big leg down. So anything that's happening in between A and B, we are internal. We are in the range, okay? We went to the extreme of the range, right? If you up here, internally speaking, 1, 2, we took this high, we swung, failed the high, we broke the low, right? This is a change of character internally speaking for the downside. a bearish retest, which is a bullish move, a move up for a bearish retest. We're in supply. We're in internal supply. We're in lower time frame supply, lower time frame supply, golden pocket. Now maybe we come down. If that's the case. Yes, this is the target, but I'd be looking at the 786 even, right? I'd be looking all the way down here, if not this low. Shit does not look good. And I've been saying this. And I said the bear markets start in, I don't even know, in January? Somewhere in January, like after I'm on the daily candle, like the week after we had this SFP and I saw this play out, I would say probably, yeah, we'll call it beginning of February. I said I think the bear market may be here. And even though we came and made a higher high, it doesn't mean that the bear market's not lingering, right? Because look what happened back here, right? Hell of a move up, swung failed the high, double top swung failed, and we break down. It looks very similar. And I hope I'm wrong for all you spot holders. I really do. But I also want my TA to be right because that's not even an ego thing for my self-confidence of what I'm seeing and all the studying I've done. We could blast off. And right now I'm not so sure. It was looking worse back here, and then we came back up. But things are just lining up that it's just not looking good, right? It is what it is. But yeah, Ethereum, ideally, in my opinion, we're rotating back down towards this area somewhere, if not between the 786 and the low. And that's a long zone. So we'll take it there. If we make it that low, this demand definitely, I'm looking at that demand right there. This guy. This guy's juicy, right? This guy's juicy. Just is what it is. Stuff is juicy. And that's what I'm looking at. Link. How are we looking? Sui. How are we looking? All the same shit. So we're dipping into demand now. We're in the fib zone. Okay. So potential long zone we're in now. But Linkaroonie, this is my trade here, and I'm looking very optimistically. All the way down here. There's an order block down here somewhere. This wick, this guy here would be ideal. There is an order block here somewhere at a different time frame. How did I enter this trade? Any user. Well, we broke down. Big move. Big move down. I'm looking here for a short. Things were just kind of lining up a little bit to where I'm not so convinced we're blasting through, right? Because we're still bearish. So what makes sense is to have a change here somewhere, right? Let me get rid of this. So close to the 786. So close. Drop down to the 5. Right? Flat top, boom. Nice little trigger wave. It makes sense to reject here. If we come back up, even without that break, I'm going to take it. And that's what happened. And here we are. Played out nicely. I felt the same way since I saw the bear div on the monthly and seeing one coming up on the week. Yeah. I mean, the altcoins look even worse. Right? Because if you look at Link, top to bottom, 786 rejection. This is just a lower high. It's just a lower high. So is this just one big bear market? Right? They're individually bull markets, but is it just this is a bullish move into potentially a bearish retest? That's why listen, I'm not saying we're blasting off. I rather secure profits if I was a spot holder. I don't know if I'd close it all. 100K, I probably would have closed majority of it. But that would have been my plan from the start. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. I missed this one, so I had to do something. But yeah, I don't know. If that theory is correct, right? Because I don't know anything. This is a long zone also, right? On a 3-day, this is the 100% a long zone. So I'm failed to 786, but we came up. We grabbed this liquidity here. Oscillator's still bleeding. You know, we're still inside of our downward trend line. We're still holding momentum. I don't necessarily know if it's done. I don't know if the overall plan is played out and ready to come up yet. I don't know. That's the fun of this stuff. You don't know until it plays out. That's why backtesting's tough, because it's all hindsight, right? Where's my drink? Here it is. What do you guys think, huh? Think I'm crazy? I know I'm not always bearish. Like this, I didn't call this bullish move because we came down, but we just came right up. Over here, I tried to look for a long up into the zone. I did get long. I didn't hold it this long, though, because I wasn't, when we started consolidating here, and then I started seeing some bullish divergence in some time frames. I'm like, you know what? Because if you were to pull a fib like this, we're inside the fib on this leg. So I got out. And then I got short. I want to say I got short. I don't know if it was on link or not, though. Before, yeah, I got stopped out. I want to say it was a 5 minute. Yeah, here. Break. We came up. I got short, and then I got stopped out. And then it happened to get up here. I was like, I don't know. There's just something different about up here. I'm taking it. Sol 157. $76. Call it that right there. You exited where? 148. We'll call it this. Where's the problem with that? That's a phenomenal trade, man. Congrats, right? Because let me ask you a question. Your theory, right? If we break bearish here, we need to break this low. We break this low, we're going to come for this order block per se, and this low. If not that low, we're coming all the way down to this low. And that is a 4-hour Fibonacci retracement golden pocket. That's a phenomenal. Well done, dude. Absolutely well done. Yeah, you can't argue that, right? You'll find another entry. Take that with a smile, though. Don't rush it. Don't push it. Take that. That's awesome. Yeah, Sui looks like shit. Look at this, right? I've been looking at this level down here. I'm going to get rid of this box because we've already dipped in. I've been looking at this guy here, but if you really want to pull the whole thing, this demand zone here for a while. Even when we were up here, boom, boom, I saw this divergence on this one here. And then he came back up and I saw this. I don't know if it was Sui Sol or Cardano. I don't know. I got short like way up here and then I took profits. And then you got to keep in mind, right? This is a long fucking time. To where we are today, that's a fucking month. I'm not holding nothing for a month. Yeah, hey, you got to have patience, but they're here. I mean, if you look at 8-hour structure, if you look at 4 or 6-hour structure, 2-hour structure, 1-hour structure, whatever it's going to be, from like that 1 hour to the daily structure, and you can snipe an entry on like the 5 to 15 minute time frame for these higher time frame trades, your R&R is absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And in my mind, those are the trades we should be doing, right? I'm going to say there's 1% of the 1% that can scalp successfully many times a day, right? That are just range trading on the 1 minute to 5 minute, whatever they have at the day, right? Because if you have a 5-minute trade, you have a 5-minute trade. You have a 15-minute trade, you have a 15-minute trade, or you can try and enter on a 5-minute trade at the time of 1 hour is about to break. Right? You know what I mean? Like all the stars are lining up, and I want to get in at this location because if this confirms on the hourly, but I get it on a 5-minute confirmation, R&R is phenomenal, right? And you don't even have to have a crazy win rate on those, even though you probably will if you're doing your top down correctly. And you have patience. You need to be patient. Now, I'd like to think if I had a $100,000 account, I'd be rich as fuck because if I was a little more patient, right, just a little more patient, I see trades so clearly lately. It's actually insane. It's a really feel good moment, but my trading account does not reflect that. One, it's not an overnight thing, right? We all know that. If you don't know that, welcome to the team. You're going to get wrecked with that mentality. But if you see it this clearly, it's like, oh my God, like what are the limits? Like what are these limits? There are no limits, right? The money's the bottleneck. Shout out to Mario. He's the one who told me that. It's like, I mean, at least in crypto, at least, right? It's a totally, if you go to like Forex or gold or, indices, all that stuff, it's different. The money amount that you can use is different, right? But like crypto, you can only use so much. Like, I got KSEX up. Let me tell you. I'll tell you right now. If I were to open up on Bitcoin, you can open up max open position. I'm going to say the average person should not be using more than 5x leverage. I'm going to say 95% of people should not be using more than 5x leverage. 98, 99% of people, because you're not getting that sniper using prep risk management if you're doing that. Not many people know those things. So if you use 5x leverage on the Bitcoin, the maximum holding amount at current leverage is 4.4 million. So 4, another 0, divide that by 5. If you have $880,000 on 5x leverage, that's the most you can use. That is a shit ton of money, though. Now, if you have 20, if you find yourself in a situation you can use 25x leverage, you can only use 2.85. Divide that by 25. You can have a $114,000 account. But now you also got to keep in mind that there's going to be slippage now, right? Now you have so many other things coming into play where you don't really want to max that out on many exchanges unless it's a day or the volume calls for it, right? You're not going to be here on a random Tuesday just trying to scalp to keep busy 1 or 2 times before you go fuck off. You can't take a $100,000 account on 20x leverage. You're going to get wrecked. It's just not. You got to be strategic. May not get wrecked, but you need to be more strategic about how you're going to put that money in. So that would be your bottleneck, right? And I know that sounds like a ridiculous amount of money, but there's so much freaking money in the space, guys. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Let's see. I'm gonna Google it. How much money is traded in BTC every day on average? Do I mean Bitcoin? Yeah. What else is BTC? Bitcoin historical data. That's not really what I want, though. Anybody got the answer to that? Well, on average on Binance. Let's do Binance. Let's be more specific. 24-hour trading volume is $53.8 billion. There's no way that's right. Hold on. What is Binance? Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume, with $76 billion daily traded on Binance Exchange as of August 2022 and 90 million customers worldwide. So that's just Binance. You got Bybit, BitGet, Blowfin, KSEX, Mexi. The limit doesn't exist, right? The decentralized stuff that's going around. Holy shitballs. Yeah, Andrew, I like that. So yeah, but if you put that into perspective, right? If you have $100,000 account, well, no, let's do. I mean, that's just one exchange. We'll lower it. We'll say 30 billion. That's 30 million. 1, 2, 3, 30 billion divided by your 100K. I don't know, can you see that? I'm not looking at the screen right now. That's a 300,000 difference. So you can think, so 100,000 is 300,000 X's less than 30 billion. I know that math makes sense. It's easy. I didn't think about it. I just pressed buttons, but it makes sense if you think about it. And that's just one exchange potentially. That's lower than the Binance, right? That's probably like a MEXC number. I wonder what MEXC's doing. Yeah, so a 24-hour trading volume just for Bitcoin on MEXC is $240 million. Up to 500. So 240 up to 550 million, depending on the source. What if I just do exchanges in general? Sorry, now I'm intrigued. Over the last 24 hours, the trading volume of Bitcoin is 4.828 trillion euro. Is that euro? I think that's euro. What's the symbol for a euro? Okay, it's looking weird. Hold on. I don't know if I could believe that. Let's click on this because that's ridiculous. Sorry, this is very intriguing. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Let's see what ChatGPT's got to say. All right, that's better. Yeah, so it varies. All right, during high volatility days, Fed news, ETF flows, etc., Bitcoin volume can spike over 150 billion dollars across all exchanges. That makes so much more sense. So we'll just say that. That's a lot of fucking money, guys. Right? That's just Bitcoin. I did not ask for the entire crypto space. That's just Bitcoin. Okay, yeah. So an average day, the entire crypto space is between 100 and 200 billion dollars. Makes sense. Makes sense. If I had big dollar, there's no chance in hell I'd be looking at anything besides ETH and Bitcoin, right? Potentially not even ETH. Depends how Bitcoin's looking though. If I had big dollar, I want consistency on the charts. I want the volume. to back my trades. I don't want too much slippage. I don't want to be noticed. I want to be just, let me come in, let me grab my shit and get out. Go fishing. Just saying, it makes sense to Brian. Makes sense to you guys? Excuse me. God, I love ChatGPT. Let's go. Feels good to be right sometimes. I should call my wife. I should just send her the chart. Like, see? I'm not always wrong. I'd still be wrong. Just so we're all aware, I'd still be wrong. I don't know. This stream got me all fired up. I'm jazzed up right now. I don't know why, but I'm jazzed up. Jazzed up. What are we looking at? Who's with me in here? Let's see. Come on. Who's in here? How many? Any bada bings? 1, 2 people? 5 people, maybe? No chance. 2 people watching, 2 likes. I am fucking shit. I suck. Three people. Yo, Nell, what's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you been? Actually, I gotta read an email after this. Yeah, the reason I'm looking at this though is because this does look like it wants to nuke, along with everything else. But there's just something special about SUI right now. It looks extra bad to me. We're looking at this. We broke bullishly. I'd be looking at the 786. That's where it was. Full blown target would be 786 here, I think. Um, if not lower, but I'm going to take a good chunk out here because I could see it coming down and then bouncing back up. I can get another entry either way. Need to secure those profits. I just came in to hear that if you trade Bitcoin. Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I would say whatever. I am not a big whale. I am little Brian. Yeah, Cardano looks even shittier. Nice. Let's go to the hourly. I got some people that are holding bags too, and like, I'm not selling. I'm going to hold forever. I'm like, you make it easy for me, then I don't got to tell you when to sell. And then when it crashes, you're like, why didn't you tell me? Just looks like a war's about to go off. Something's about to go down. Was it Friday when we dumped a little bit? Sorry. Was it Friday? What's today? Today's Tuesday. I think it was this big dump here. So Thursday, I was talking to a buddy, and he's like, "We're going up." I'm like, "I don't know, man. It just doesn't look good. Like flat top, bears divergent, like just didn't look good." And then the whole Iran thing happened. I think it was Iran. I don't follow the news. I haven't watched the news since the Trump Biden presidency bullshit the first time around. Was we had COVID and that, and everything was just so depressing, and everyone was at each other's throats. And then I stopped watching the weather. I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching morning talk shows because everyone's got to talk about their bias, politically speaking, and I don't give a shit. So here I am talking to you assholes. We're having a good time. We're having fun. We're having fun. Yeah. Like my mother called me today. She's like, "What's the weather looking like for this weekend? Like, you're gonna have a, I think you're gonna have a good weekend." Because my birthday's on Friday. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I wake up. Is it raining? Is it not? Is the sun shining? I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. I still gotta wake up. I still got shit to do. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Life goes on, man. Life doesn't halt, and it's tough now. It's summertime, man. At least it is here. Weather's starting to get nicer. There's more shit to do. I hear you. I can't wait to take my laptop to the pool, put my cell phone hotspot on, and just sit there, get my sunburn. Just get me out of the apartment, you know what I mean? Get some fresh air, but do it outside. I gotta get a portable table though. Actually, that's a. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I gotta get a portable table. But I think that's all I got for you guys. You guys got any more questions? I think we've been here for almost an hour now. 50 minutes. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I mean, I gave you an overall consensus. I mean, if we do come up, let's just go to Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's see. I'd pull this fib to wherever we come down to. If we come down, if we come down even further, you stretch it down. I'd be looking at this fib because I'd be looking at this zone for a potential short. And then if we come lower, I'd be looking down here at this order block, the value low, this wick here. You know, I mean, you can even pull this whole thing up like that, right? This whole zone here for me. If not where we are now for a bounce. Short zone here, maybe even up here somewhere. Well, I mean, level by level, guys. Level by level. I'm still under the impression that tonight, there should be a little more blood. It's 1 o'clock. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily. It looks like it could be ready to cool down a little bit, but I'm not. I'm not under the impression that we're stopping yet. Like money flow is still looking really bad on these lower time frames, medium low, and then you go to the hourly, 4 hour. I mean, as the momentum waves, the money flow is pointing down still. So once these higher time frames, these momentum waves really cross over the money flows, if it does cross over, that's where you're going to see the trickle all the way down to here. So I'm gonna sit on them. I'm gonna wait. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. Overall, we got this order block where we are now. We got this order block at value area low here, the wick, and then we got this demand zone I'm looking at. And then for the short, pull this impulse fib, and then look at the supply zone. Right, it's all inside. It's all the same jazz. If not, we come up maybe SFP this high. If not, go higher. I don't know. But those are my zones for now. I'm gonna set my alarms. I'm gonna fuck off. Good. All right, guys. I appreciate everyone coming. Thanks for joining me in my rants and my TA. I may or may not be on tomorrow. I'll try to. My wife's home, so it's gonna be tough. But especially if the weather's decent. So I don't know. You all have a good rest of the day. Trade safe, and we'll catch you next time. See you guys.